Hey y'all, come on in the kitchen and have a seat because I'm going to share with y'all today. Remember, I'm filling requests that we get a lot of questions about. So we have gotten a lot of requests for lasagna. So I'm going to share with y'all today the Lady and Sons lasagna recipe, and I'm not leaving out a thing. You know, it took me years to get this recipe really the way I wanted it, because over the years I would taste different people's lasagna, and so I finally figured out what it was I wanted in the lasagna. So here goes. Well, I'm going to start with a pound and a half of ground beef, y'all. And I'm going to brown that off for a second. And this is ground chuck, so it shouldn't have much fat in it at all. So I suspect that we won't even have to drain it. So here we go. All right, we've kind of browned our meat off almost all the way. So now I'm gonna put a can of tomato sauce in it. And let's see, how many ounces is that, Eddie? I don't have my glasses on.
It's 15.
Okay, a 15-ounce can of tomato sauce. Let me rinse that out with a little water. You know, I want to get every drop. And you will notice that I did not drain my ground beef. And I didn't drain that for a reason, y'all, because that's where the flavor is. And we're going to take full advantage of our flavors. And most of that in there is water, I think, that comes from the ground beef. All right. So that's already looking good. Now I'm going to add my onions. I'm going to add my green bell pepper. I'm going to add 2 bay leaves. I'm going to add a teaspoon of seasoning salt. I think that's a teaspoon. That looks like a lot.
It's actually a teaspoon and a half.
Okay, so I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of that, and I'll come back to that other half should we need it. And I'm going to put the whole 1.5 teaspoons of house seasoning in. And we're going to put just a little sugar to knock the tartness down of the tomatoes. And now we're going to use, is that 2 teaspoons?
That's actually another.
Or
They're all
tablespoon.
1.5
Okay.
teaspoons. Of
And that was
everything.
Italian seasoning. Now you may find that and this is garlic,
And
fresh
those were
garlic.
two cloves.
2 cloves of garlic. And you may find as you taste that you will want to add more Italian seasoning, because I really like the flavors that gives it. All right, now for something green to go along with our bell peppers is our parsley. And that's going to give it some flavor and a pretty color. So now we're going to cover this, and we're going to let it cook until I think it's right, probably about an hour. And you know, this is a good dish to cook in your slow cooker. You can throw all this together in the morning and come in and put your lasagna together, and you've got dinner within 30 minutes. So I'm going to leave this here because when I taste, I may find that it needs more salt. So we're going to kind of let that come back to a ball. And then I'm going to cover it. And we're going to simmer it. Well, actually, I'm going to put it on low. We're going to do a little bit more than simmer for about an hour. And then we're going to put our lasagna together. Okie dokie. Our spaghetti sauce has been cooking for 1 hour. Now, oh gosh, that scared me so bad.
Scared me too.
Y'all jumped too.
So did Lulu.
I'm gonna take out our bay leaves. I know I probably told y'all this story before, but our little Anthony, Michael tells me that he was invited to spend the night with a friend, and the next day he came home, he said, Daddy, they put grass or something, some kind of leaves in their spaghetti sauce. And he said, I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't eat it, and I just tried not to say anything about it. And his daddy said, Anthony, that was bay leaves, honey.
But you're not supposed to eat bay leaves, are you?
No. Mm-mm. They're just for the flavor. All right. So I've got my 13 by 9 by 2 pan. And I'm gonna give it a little spray just to keep it from sticking. And I will show y'all the greatest invention in the way of convenience foods. This is what we actually use at the restaurant. They were just available commercially for a while, but these are fresh pasta sheets. They are wonderful. And this is what they look like in your grocery store. You know, I've never had any luck like boiling the noodles. They would just tear all up and just aggravating. And so when we moved to our first restaurant downtown in 1996, I discovered that our food purveyors actually carried lasagna sheets. So it was a while though before the grocery stores carried it for the public. But this is great. So I hope that y'all will try that because it will make your life so much easier. Now I'm gonna taste our sauce because you know I didn't put all of the salt in. So I'm gonna taste it, make sure it's seasoned right. And it's delicious. We are ready to go. And I'm just gonna put a little thin layer of the meat sauce down. I'm gonna spread it out because we want our noodles to have like a little bed to lay on. Just a thin little bed. A little bit more. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna lay our lasagna noodles. You know, I think we might be better laying them that way rather than long way, or we'll have to do a lot of cutting. Okay. I'm gonna take my scissors. Oops. I'm gonna take my scissors and just trim a little bit of that off. So we'll be able to see the layers in our dish. Doesn't take much, and I'll save these in case we need them somewhere else. So there we go, that's perfect. All right, I'm gonna come over here now, and I'm gonna take, this is a 16 ounce of cottage cheese, and I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna mix it with eggs, and Parmesan cheese. Now that egg will help bind that cottage cheese, so it'll kind of make little nicely formed piles of cottage cheese. Now you can use ricotta. Ricotta is, to me, a little bit more flavorful, and it's definitely thicker. So in goes the Parmesan. Oh, which one was I supposed to use, Teresa? I can't.
Parmesan Gruyere.
Okay.
You do the right ones.
Oh yeah, this is Gruyere. All right, so you know,
And then your Parmesan.
by now you know that you use the cheeses of your choice. And we all love Gruyere around here, so that's what I'm gonna use. So we've got that mixed together. And then we've got our cheeses. We have, gosh help me, Teresa. I know we got Swiss and we got cheddar.
And mozzarella.
We've got,
That goes in here.
oh,
That's
okay.
Parmesan.
The Parmesan goes
Okay.
in with the egg.
Was that
and the-
two different kinds of Parmesan?
One was Gruyere and that one's Parmesan.
Okay, but the Gruyere went in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, you can, you can really do this any way you want to. Normally, I just use ricotta and an egg. So,
We're getting
but
fancy
extra,
today.
yes, we are. So this is gonna be even better with that cheese and that
Yeah,
ricotta.
that's almost like a manicotti
Yes,
stuffing.
yes. Stuff this between some big noodles. I'm starving, y'all. Uh-oh, who's that coming in that garage door?
I'm sure it's people.
All right. Now I'm gonna put another layer of meat sauce. Look, our pasta's curling up. All right, and then we're gonna start using all those good things over there that makes it lasagna. All right, so I'm gonna drop. So see, by putting those cheeses in there, Eddie, by putting those cheeses in there, it made it as thick as ricotta.
Yeah.
If I was using ricotta. Oh my gosh, I just love biting into this. And I'm gonna kind of leave them in heaps like that. Doggies. That is looking so good. All right, now I'm gonna layer a little cheddar cheese over that. You can see that I like cheesy lasagna. Come in, people.
Hey, Paula.
It is almost time, and I hate so bad that you're still on that crazy diet and not gonna be able to join us in lasagna. But maybe you can just have some of the sauce, a bowl of the sauce.
Yeah, maybe I did. Save me some.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna, now that I know those need trimming, I'm gonna do that before I lay them down. All right. Eddie. All right, now I'm gonna share my secret ingredient that a friend, Becky Gear, told me about years ago, because she had lasagna, had us over for lasagna one night, and I thought it was so delicious, and I said, okay, Becky, what makes this so stinking good? And she said, well, Paula, I put cream cheese in it. So I have never to that day ever made lasagna that it didn't have cream cheese in it, because it takes it to another level. When you bite into that soft cream cheese, it is just so good. think we need a little bit more cheese. The triplets. I've said it so many times to them that they think it's what it is. I'll say, "You want Mo?" And they'll say, "Mo, Mo." I said, "Your mom and daddy's gonna whip Guinea." Teaching y'all such incorrect English. All right, now you see I'm just dividing my cheese. Up, up, up. Alrighty. This dries out pretty quickly, y'all. So you don't want this to sit out very long on the counter because you saw the way the ends were curling up. That is just perfect. I love these size sheets. The sheets at the restaurant were like this big, you know, for a restaurant size pan. Okie doke. Here we go. This is our last layer. And that package did perfectly. Let's see how many sheets it has in it. 6. So we know that 6 of those are perfect for a 13 by 9 by 2. Now at this point you could put this in the refrigerator and let it sit. Say if you're having company tonight, just put it in the refrigerator and pull it out. Look how much sauce I'm gonna save Michael. That much right there. At least I can tell him that I did save him some. Poor thing. But he's the one choosing to diet and I'm happy for him. Okay, so we're gonna come back. I love a dollop of ricotta on that top and final layer. I really, really like that. So that 16-ounce container gave us 2 layers of ricotta and Gruyere. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to bake this off. I don't know, maybe about 45 minutes. I can't remember. I just cook it till it's done. Let's see, it's going to be on 350.
You want me to come read it for you?
Wait, wow, I used my glasses. All right, let's see. If you have decided to refrigerate it, you're gonna need to bake it a little longer because it's gotten cold. Okay, for about 40 minutes, we're gonna bake it. And I'm not gonna add the rest of the cheese right now. I'm gonna let it cook for about 45 minutes, and then I'm gonna top it with this cheese and put it back for 5 to 10 minutes so it gets gooey and melty.
Yummy.
And I think this would be fine frozen too at this point. Okay, y'all. Our lasagna has cooked for about 40 minutes. So now I have combined my cheddar, my mozzarella, and my Swiss. Wasn't that Swiss we decided to use?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now I didn't want to put this in when we first made it because I don't like cheese to get real hard. I want it just to melt. So we're going to stick it back in there and give this a second to get ooey gooey. almost didn't hold out enough cheese for the top, y'all. So I found a little bit more extra sharp cheddar in my refrigerator after I conked my head and burned my arm. But you know what? That's all right. We want perfect lasagna. So this is working out great. Get to use that little piece of cheese up. Okay, so back in the oven, and like I said, maybe 10 minutes, y'all. This time I'm gonna make sure I open that door all the way. Because when I opened it a little while ago, I burnt myself. Okay, and remember that was at 350. Okay, the timer just went off letting us know that it had been 10 minutes, y'all. That would take the skin off of our mouth.
Yes, it will.
But if y'all are game, I'm game. I'm gonna cut
Maybe
this.
just cut a piece out on a plate.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut a little bitty piece so everybody can see what that lasagna looks like. And if you've never used those fresh noodles, you are gonna fall in love with those. I'm just gonna get out a little paper plate. You really need to let it cool for a minute so it'll cut nicely. But
We
I'm
have no
impatient.
patience.
We're short on patience today. I'm getting out 3 spoons.
Okay.
Uno, dos, tres.
Look how hot it is.
I know. I know. I know.
Cool.
All right, Eddie, you want to
I'll
take
wait.
that
I'll
one?
wait.
No, here, you can have that one. I'll dip me another one.
That's all right.
Okay, if you insist. Oh, Teresa. It is delicious beyond belief. It's been so long since I've
I
had
know.
mine.
I haven't had any from the Lady and Sons in forever.
Mm.
So they need to go to the Lady and Sons.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Perfect. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.